All right, what's good, everybody? Quancredible here, and we have Black Clover chapter 303. Glad tidings. I feel like this more than likely is the end of the Megicula fight for now. Like that she may or may not come back. I can talk about that towards the end, but for the most part, this is probably the end for right now, at least. So it starts off with a Nozel flashback. Because if you remember, Nozel had just arrived in the last chapter, but it's a Nozel flashback, kind of re-going over some events that we knew happened, but just kind of stringing them together a different way. Really kind of going over how Nozel felt in that year his mom was dying, and kind of going into more of why he couldn't talk about it. Because I remember saying something about it way back when we first got like that ACR flashback. Because I was like, Nozel wasn't even in the curse range, but apparently it was a secondary effect that he was unable to talk about it, or they would suffer the exact same curse, which is actually kind of messed up when you really think about it. Because it's like if he talks about it, they suffer a secondary curse. Like it's just gonna keep spreading, and like it's almost like it won't ever curse him himself, but just everybody he cares about that he would want to tell, he just can't. So it's a really messed up curse when you think about it. And then while his mom was passing away, she was telling Nozel that you as well as like all of your siblings will go stronger than me, so live. And it's funny because after this, we kind of get like Nozel's like recognizing, like it was this one panel recognizing that like Never and Solid had grown stronger, but that they would be no match for an opponent like that. So seeing it's almost like from this, it kind of makes me see that Nozel, in addition to making himself stronger, saw that Never and Solid weren't like super crazy strong. So he was like, well, there's no reason to even make Noel, or no reason to even let Noel try to get strong if none of us are even going to be able to get that powerful. I would just, carry the burden himself and kind of just like fix everything by himself, but in turn kind of be a jerk towards Noel to like really push her away from all of that. Which obviously is the worst way to handle this. We can all say this as like a reader. That's a horrible way to handle this, but this is what makes really good characters is when they have these horrible flaws or make really bad choices and they kind of learn from it and grow from it. And Nozel, even as we've seen like in the fight with Kivin, when Noel was like realizing more of her power and he did apologize to her for acting the way he did, and even right now through this flashback realizing that I should have relied more on other people is good character growth for Nozo, and honestly makes him like a much better character for it. Like this is a really good chapter for Nozel. And then after the flashback is over, we have Nozel. And this is why, like, I feel like you have to like Nozel at least a little bit. Like, even if you hated what he did, absolutely. Like, even if you hated what he did, absolutely with Noel and how he handled everything, you have to just like him as a character for how much just confidence and how much like you can really feel the like pride in his character. And like, I almost want to play that clip again. I really love this clip of Nozel and he's just flexing the power. It just fits so well like how his character is. But he is thanking everyone present for allowing him to meet Magicula again to get his revenge. And then Nozel puts everything he ever was and everything he has into these next attacks. And he's like, so crazy because like Nozel's like one of the only captains I feel like in Black Clover that doesn't have something crazy special about him. Like he doesn't have the whole double briar curse absorption like Charlotte. He doesn't have like infinite possibilities like Rill. He's not arcane like Yami or William. Like his magic isn't super broken like Jack. He doesn't have a spirit like for going on. Like Nozel is literally just like he is just him, and it is actually really dope. Like he doesn't have no crazy transformation. He is just him, and it is dope. So Nozel launches like all of these crazy attacks at Magicula, but Magicula is still having the ability to use Vanica and ACR's abilities are kind of counteracting him. But Nozel's Mercury is still proving to be superior. We get the little flash of ACR saying that, he has the strength of steel and the flexibility of water. And honestly, like Mercury wouldn't even have been a magic I would have expected to be this dope. But Nozel makes it look amazing. And I guess with those properties, it would in fact make it amazing. The fact that they're able to do this and outmatch Magicula with it. And then the one thing too that I really wanted to talk about is like the art for like this, like all of Nozel's spreads in this chapter look absolutely amazing. Like just how Tabata really draws like the like fluidness of it. It reminds me a lot of how things looked in Hungry Joker. Ooh, I forget her name. Vivian? I think. Yeah, for some reason, just it looks very reminiscent of that. Just kind of the overall style he goes for when drawing Nozelle's panels here. But after Nozelle's onslaught, Majekla says that he is unable to, he's still unable to kill a supreme devil's heart, but he was really just trying to open up a way for for Noelle to be able to do it, and then finally realizing that instead of keeping her away, they should have all grown stronger together, and then Noelle is able to slice Magecula's heart into pieces. And honestly, this again, the panels in this chapter looked really dope. This was a really good chapter. Like it had the flashback, it had a fight. Like I really can't ask for much more. This is kind of always what I'd be asking for when I say I'm not going to give it a 10 because it didn't have that. But this is honestly a really good chapter. And then we have Magecula talking about how even though she was careful or wary, she still ended up losing to the humans. And I can already feel like some people in the fandom are going to say Magecula should have just got serious from the beginning. But honestly, I want to say Magecula was serious the entire time. But it's like you have to remember she only had a third. She was only like a third, reincarnated or like a third manifested in the real world because she needed the three, souls of the strong same-sex mages, and she only had Aesir. Vanica still has not died yet somehow, and Laura Petchka is still alive. So she was actually only a third manifested. So like it took all of this. It took what, like freaking three captains, ultimate magic luck, full everything, Gaja and Noelle, and a save from Asta, luck. Like it took so much just to kill a third powered Magecula. So it's like I'm not even mad at her losing here. But me personally, I also don't think she's actually dead because again, she's only a third manifested. So it's like it's not like she was fully there. So we may see her again in the future, but I don't think anytime soon because the fact that it took this much to kill her means that like if she was fully manifested, there's no way you would need literally everyone. So they're just not on that level. Like honestly, this fight kind of made me think that we're probably not going to get that much deeper into the tree. We might get one more gate. Like maybe yeah, honestly, after one more gate, I'm not really seeing too much more. I don't even think we're going to get two more gates because the characters in the story are just not strong enough. They are actually just not strong enough right now to handle fully manifested, bottom floor devils. So we're gonna have to wait and see how Tabata's gonna handle this. And then at the very end, we do have the soul of Ace here that was captured. Being free, being able to have that moment with her two kids, saying that you two have really grown strong before she passes on. And it was really dope. This was such a Silva focused chapter, and I don't hate the Silvas as I've said before in the past. So this is a dope chapter, honestly. As much as it pains me to do this, to give my first 10 out of 10 chapter to a Silva focused chapter, I kind of have to because it had everything that I wanted in it. It had everything that I always ask for in the dope fight, move the story along, flashback. I can't ask for too much more. So this chapter is definitely a 10 for me. First one right here. But yeah, as I was saying though, I don't think Majecla is dead. We may see her like in like a future arc or something, or if we ever go to the underworld. I don't really think we're gonna get any more gates. Hopefully after this though, we can finally get to the stuff because it's been like a million chapters since we've seen and honestly, I don't feel like we really need to stick around here any longer. The only thing that we could possibly get next that wouldn't be it would be like a more of a wrap up of what's going on here. So like basically the effects of Real spell vanishing, everyone kind of powering back down, being really tired. Maybe Nox could pull up with some more cookies and bread. Maybe I don't know. I doubt he has much more. 'Cause I want to say he gave the last of that stuff to Magna, which kind of sucks when you think about it in a hindsight. That Magna ate probably the last of that food that probably should have went to the captains. Um, Nozella doesn't appear to be too tired, so Nozella probably still in the fight. Actually, honestly, we could even go outside and see what Fuegoleon and Merliona are doing. I wouldn't be too mad at that. There obviously is still the issue of Laura Petchka because she's still super cursed right now. So, I mean, I know a lot of people have been waiting on their Gordon appearance, so maybe Gordon could pop up and heal her curse. At this point, that's kind of the only relevance he would have in the story at all. Yeah, actually, when I think about it, if Gordon doesn't pop up here, he really just has no place in the story. Like, that was his only moment, and if they don't give it to him, that's kind of going to suck. But I'm curious to know what you guys think is going to happen next. Also, as well as how you guys felt about this chapter. Like I said, this is probably one of the best chapters, just period, just because it had like everything you could want would be in this chapter. So Just let me know how you guys are feeling about it down below. Make sure you like the video as well as subscribe to the channel for more content. Outside of that, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video.